Yo, 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 guys, what up? So, here we go. Let me jump over doing a little bit of housekeeping on getting this camera all set up. And I was really not prepared today. Got a microphone going? Good. All right, mic is going. Let's get back into my normal setup here. So, today we're going to be playing around let me fire up the render really quickly. Playing around and animating some stuff I was working on yesterday. Just spending an hour in Blender, playing around, like I normally do, playing in Blender. So I've got this shot here, and I just added some geometry node stuff going to be happening. It's going to be like, let's turn that off for a moment, happening like this, and then I'm going to have the camera kind of just like swooping slowly across the scene. So that's one shot, and then I've got another shot here that I'm going to be working on. This shot here, and again, this one should be automated too. Good. But as these all rise up and down, this one pin is going, this marker is going to just slowly just grow up to the top to this final position. And then in our next shot here, the camera's going to slowly just scan along. There goes my alarm. Scan along the side of these markers here. And then the final shot, it's going to be the most difficult, which I probably should do first. I'm going to have this pin just pop in like, whoop, and then kind of just like, float, levitate, like, and then end up in that final position. So that's what I got on my slate today. Practicing some animation, really inspired, and it was most appropriate, really inspired by a video that I just watched. Jeez, I can't remember this kid's name. I can call him a kid because I'm quite sure I'm well older than him. What is the name of this guy's video I just watched? Let's pop over the YouTube here. It was a great video. I mean, he makes, oh, here it is. Here it is. Smurf, whatever. Absolutely the Mr. Beast of Blender, right? Like his videos crush. His videos should crush because he spends a lot of time on his videos and he puts a lot of work into his videos. So that's why his videos crush. I mean, but he just released this video right here. I don't really, in my opinion, I think the thumbnails really doesn't justify the video. The thumbnail is probably not a good thumbnail in my opinion. But I made 100 animations in 7 days. The video is deep. The video is fantastic, fantastically good. I almost didn't click on the video because of the thumbnail, believe it or not. But I know how deep his videos get, and this video is probably one of the best videos he has put out. And it's not like the click here tutorial. It's really heavily on learning, and like some of the stuff that he talked about in that video, it is looking a little dark in here, huh? I use my camera to do some 3D scanning, and my settings are all off right now. So pardon me while I get this ready, guys. My settings are all off, and I need to get those back into the proper settings. I should probably have written them down, which I didn't. And the problem is, I think we need a little bit more ISO. I think I normally have that at 8. Unfortunately, the left button on my camera is broken. It doesn't go back left, so I can only go right. Alrighty, I think that might be the case. Yeah, there we go. 800 ISO. Gotta take note of that. So you can see here, I wrote out my little what is it? What do we call those? What do we call those? Shot list of what I wanted to do. This really helps. And I think we're back. Good, we are back. All right, guys. Let me get the music going. How do I have the day off today? Normally I have to work. Normally I'm at school at this time, but I'm off today. The house is clear. Nobody's home. That means it's time to go live. That's what happens when you get married and have kids. Like you get excited when the house is alone so you can go live. At least for me. Alrighty. And let's pop back over to, let's get the chat set up first of all, even though I probably know there'll be nobody here, but I don't care. I still stream like I'm streaming to 50,000 people, right? And they only might be two of you, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me. And let's get this set up here. Where is my live chat box? And there we go. That's the one. And pop out chat. Sweet. All right. Now let's get to work and getting this shot made here. Dude, I got a warning from YouTube. Warning: the stream current bit rate is lower than recommended. Sorry, YouTube. I don't know. I didn't change anything as far as that goes, so I don't know why it's asking that. Can you guys hear me on my end? It seems like audio is working, so I don't know what's up with that. We'll find out later. Okay. Now let's jump back and get me and myself position. Height, bump, bump. There we go. All right, sweet. So let's get to work on this shot. So I do need my music though. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get my music going here. And I can't do Spotify, otherwise I'm gonna get all kinds of flags on my YouTube account. So I gotta stick with my art list, which is the music I use. Art list, famous plug. You can get. I don't even know if I have the description down in the video, but they've been sponsoring me from back in the day on my other YouTube channel, and that's what I use for music because it's copyright free. You never have no issues, and it rocks. Okay, and let's get my headphones plugged in. Sorry, guys, totally unprepared today. It's all right. I can edit all this out in the magic of TV. Sweet. Okay. Wait. Just a little bit. All right. First thing first, what I'm gonna do here is drop this camera. How should I do this? I think from past tutorials I used to watch, it was easy to put the. First of all, I got the geonodes animated, and I like that speed, just nice and slow. Frame rate, we're gonna go for 24 frames FPS rep, and 1920 by 1080. Ultimately, this is gonna be an Instagram post, but I do want to have a full video, so I can. Let me turn on my guidelines, viewport, composition, and rule of thirds. We'll turn that on and turn this on. That's just going to help me. I'm going to use these dotted lines here just to kind of keep my composition center, so I know if I want to do a reel, it's going to fit right in here. Like that's going to be my ultimate ending place for this animation. Okay, I'm going to go over to my animation tab, and what I want to do, I don't know if I even want to reset my camera position. I like where the camera position is at. So what I'm going to do is grab this. We're going to press cursor to selected, add in a null, and the top view really fast. And I'm just going to line this null up like that. Maybe make it just a tad bit smaller. And let's go to the side view, rotate that down like that. I probably could have copied positions and did all that, but whatever. And then I'm gonna take, grab this, then grab the parent, and then Control P, parent object. Now we should have it. Boom. Okay. So this shot is going to be about 3 seconds long. I have 4 seconds. Well, I have a little more than 4 seconds, but I just want to have it slowly scan along the scene here. Kind of like, let's just do a quick practice of what I want. Something kind of like, and we're running out of space back there. So that means in the geo nodes, I might need to add in some more. Go back to Geo. And I'm like really proud of this little setup I made, dude. Like this was tutorial free. Even though I did have to watch a little bit of a tutorial to figure out this bottom part here to set this node up here, but using Geo. But the modeling, it was all tutorial free. Like I was happy, dude. I did it without watching the tutorial. Like literally, it was just like, hey, you know what? Let's make it. Okay, let's go and see what happens if I do. I don't want to mess this up too much. And let me go back that deep. Is that going to affect my spacing? Let's see. Nah, it looks good. All right, good. So now we got more room to play with. Ooh, undo that. Click on it. All right, let's go ahead and animate it. Let's drop. I'm gonna go off frame 0. I'm gonna put on my camera eye. Let's just do location rotation. And I'm just gonna shoot it to about 4 seconds, which is 124 frames per second. And we're gonna need to play with this value once we see here. Like that. And eye location rotation. All right, so we got way too fast. I like that, way too fast. I want something way more subtle. Ah, that feels a little bit better. Let's go even a little bit slower. Even something slower. I probably should have found the music that I want to use first, and that really is going to dictate the pacing of everything, but I didn't. I like that. And what I want to do here, just to also make it a little bit more interesting, come back here, go back to frame 0. I'm going to go rotation on the X, no Y, just a little bit like this. I'm going to press I, rotation, and it should straighten out, right? Yeah, straightening out because the rotation was set in the other one. I think it is. Or is it staying to the side? No, it's staying Dutch angle. Actually, I kind of like that. A little bit of a Dutch angle there. I think that's good. Damn, this is a cool scene. Thanks, bro. Yeah, it actually, man, I'm really excited at how it turned out. Ooh, way too much depth of field. Now we need to crank back a little bit off the depth of field. It's a little too much. Actually, I don't know. Let's go half. Let's go half. Depth of field 2.8. Let's go times 2. Ah, that feels a little bit better. Yeah, I like that. Too much depth of field is a little overkill. And do I still have, I'm using, let's close that. Let's close that. 2.2 aspect ratio. So I'm going for the anamorphic fill. Yep. And my edge, aperture edge is 2, which is pretty harsh. Good. Yeah, I like the way that looks there. Trying to get back into Octane for Blender, but I got a new PC and I'm dealing during the installation process. I dislike having 2 Blenders EXEs. I have 2 Blenders EXEs. It doesn't bother me too much. Like here's my Octane one. If you can see here on the bottom of my screen, that's my Octane one. And then in my settings here, there's my other one, Blender 4 standard vanilla version right there. So I keep them separate. I always use the Octane one, but with the new plugin add-on, I've been downloading this one. I've been using this one quite often just because all the new updates, I'm like testing them out to see how they are. So yeah, but it doesn't bother me too much. Alrighty, I like that. that feels good. I can't wait to see what that looks like. I think I'm going to use the render network to render these out, just so I don't want to wait. Even though I probably could render it on my machine, but I just want to. I still have some credits left on my render network, so I'm going to use the render network after that to render these, which is super quick. All right, that's it for shot 1. And let me set my timer because I need to do some other stuff today. I can't sit here and burn on this all day, which I will, which I've done before. I will sit all day and waste, like I have to pick my daughter up at 3:30. I will be here all day, sitting right here in this seat, burning. There's a new plugin. Yes, there is a new plugin. It's in beta, so be careful. It only works for Blender 4.1. If you if you go to where's it at? I have a my video. I don't know if you've seen the video that I did a quick install on it, how Blender 4.1 works. If you watch that video, I have the link in there, I think. And you should be able to click that link and you'll see the more updated one. Let's see, because it's not on the website, it's actually on the Blender Octane forum. What video was it? Right here. You click on this video, how to install Octane Render 4.1, and you click in here, and then you will see right here, download Blender 4.1 here. This is the form where they post the beta version right here. Beta 2.9 release of July. This one is old, so there is a newer one. I would click this release button here and find the newer version. See, okay, here, this is September 17th, beta version right there. So check that out. Hey, matter of fact, I'll just drop the link right now for you. I don't know why I totally forget the power of live streaming. I can just drop the link for you right now in the stream. Now, when you download that, you still will need to download the Octane server. So you just need the Octane server, and then you need to download the add-on, and then the add-on just loads in like any add-on in Blender. Just go to your add-ons and load it. But, you know, be careful. It's in beta, so there's some things that are broken about it right now. Like, I don't use it. I mean, I'm still using the standalone version because of the, like, I want to work without issues. So it is in beta. So be patient. It's only going to get better and better and better and better, right? But yeah, I can't wait for it. And then they actually have a couple of nodes now. Like, they made them look like the color mix node. They made like, it's not a real color mix node, but it looks like a color mix node. It has all the same settings, and it really helps out with trying to follow along with like tutorials now, because you got a color mix node, right? So it works out cool. All right, let me go my next shot here. Next shot. All right, this one we're gonna have everything kind of like animating. These are going to be going up and down, and I want to have this pin just slowly rise. I want this pin to be in its final position. Ooh, I don't like that. It's clipping at the end right there. That one behind it. So we'll just end the shot before that happens. Yeah, we'll end the shot right about, I'll just go 100 again, 4 seconds. And this pin is here. I'm going to do eye, location, rotation. Let's come back over here to 1. I'm actually going to go off to 0. And let's go GZ. Just bring it down. It's going to totally cut into that. Let's see what happens first. Hang on. Eye, location, rotation. Yeah, totally looks like crap. I don't want that to clip into there. Okay, so let me just delete those keyframes and find a delete keyframes. Let's find a position for this where it's not being clipped in there. And I think if I move it, we got an empty space over here to the side. Let's click both of these, drag this to right here. And then what happened to my music? Nate, what up? Hey, how's it going? What are we talking about here? Today I'm actually I took a couple of steel shots yesterday in my normal daily 1-hour sessions of Blender, playing in Blender Octane. And today I'm trying to just animate them, give them a little bit of life, working on, I want to practice animation a lot. This year is going to be, or this year is almost over, but for the last half of this year, I really want to get back into my animation routine, trying to practice animation daily. So, oh, this is awesome. I have to try doing one of these types of animation. Yeah, man, that's just the hardest part, is just doing it, getting the reps in, making a bunch of crappy animations, right? Because in the beginning, we're all going to suck. We're all going to suck. But we just got to get that out the way. So just get in and get it out the way. What's going on with my music, dude? How come I don't hear now? Can you guys hear the music? The music playing? Oh, it's my headphones. Wait. Yeah, that's the hardest part about, doing things we're not good at, man. It's just trying to get past that part of sucking. But this one, I got GeoNodes is helping out a lot with this like up and down motion here, like this noise little pattern. We got this little camera just sliding over the top here. The short ones, like only like 4 seconds. Like each shot is gonna be about less than 4 seconds, maybe 3 seconds. But all right, so now what we're looking at, that looks cool. We don't have nothing clipping into it. Those guys are gonna be pulsating. And this guy's just going to grow up to the top. And then I want him, let's get his final position, which should be this guy. And let's go GZ. And I want his final position to be something rough there. Maybe make sure the focus is set. That focus is looking nice. Nice and creamy little anamorphic freaking bokeh going on in the background there. Let me turn on my, there we go. Yeah, so that's looking perfect. That's looking like it's going to hit. Nice and focused. Okay, good. I like that. I'm going to put that at 100 for right now. And then what we're going to head and do is click on that. I'm going to press I. Let's just do location. I'm not going to rotate it. Actually, should I rotate it? Let's do location, rotation. And then let's get crazy, right? We're animating. Let's practice. I'm going to go to 0. Thing looks amazing. Thanks, bro. Thanks. And then let's go ahead and bring this down. GZ. I'm gonna have it be like kind of like way down here in the mist. And then let's go rotate Z 180. Why not? Why not? Right? Because we can. That's why. And I'm gonna go ahead, location, rotation, and let's see what that looks like. I think I like a killer render. I don't know. It's taking a little bit too long. So I'm going to increase the speed. Maybe he should rotate because he's special, right? He's the special mark. He's the chosen marker. Okay, we got to fix some of the curves. Boom, and then it'll end on 100. I think this shot's going to end on 100. But for now, I'll leave the timing the way it is. Okay, now this is where I start to get a little iffy because I got to revert back to the tutorials I used to watch that I was watching prior to this. And I want to see, we did location on the Z, right? And we did rotation on the Z. That's all I want to see. Matter of fact, I don't even want to see that. I just want to see my location first. And just period. Here is the animation that we did. Now, if I can remember, I think I can click on that. I think I press Control T? Ooh, I don't know what that did. Undo. I don't know what that did. That wasn't Control T. I want to get those, my little bars, my handlebars. How do I get those bars out? Oh, here we go. Bars, handlebars. I want free. How come I don't see them though? Undo. Help me out, guys. Where do I get those little black bars at that I can tweak the, where I can tweak it? Handlebar type? Yeah, there's handlebars, but where are they? Aligned, interpolation mode. Let's go Bezier. Oh, there we go. Okay, boom, there we go. There's the little bars, and then if I click on these, now if I press right click, and then I should go to handlebars type free. If I take this one, nope, that didn't do anything. Is this handlebar? Oh, there we go. Why is it only one? See, this is what you gotta just deal with. Like, since it's new, I was already expecting to be like, okay, what's going on? But hey, this is how you learn, right? How do I get those bars, dude? Aligned? Only one bar. Undo, 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 undo. Undo. Undo, 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 undo. Undo. Go back up to all the way where the bars were. Okay, there. Oh, I can't remember. Maybe hold Alt or Control while clicking. Hold Control. Hold Control. Let me select both of these, right? I'm in the right, yeah, graph editor, right? Graph editor. Let's go Bezier. Okay, there, boom. Check it out. I selected all the keyframes and went Bezier. Okay, cool. Now, if I take all of these, if I press period on the key on the bottom, why am I working in such a small window? Jesus Christ, dude, open up, dude. That's what I was looking for. Now, let me back up and see what we're looking at. Make sure I didn't tweak, change anything. Boom. Okay. Boom. It hits too hard. I don't like that, how it hits too hard. So, I think we could kind of go like, I don't know. Let's just play with these bars until we get something that works. I see everybody do this. Also, I'm going to do. Oh, already it's way slower. Okay. Okay, I see. Let's go opposite on that. Let's take this side and do that. And go up like this. Because I think we want to gradually slow into that position. So that might make sense, right? Okay, now it's starting off fast though. I don't like how it's starting off fast. Okay, so let's take this down. And maybe we can kind of do something like that. And then take this guy and kind of maybe bring him out. Let me hold down X. Oh, oh, there we go. Who said animation is hard? Hang on, dude. Oh, there we go. Hang on for a second, dude. My YouTube screen is distracting me on my side. I don't like watching my stream while I'm in the stream because it's behind and it really messes me up. I just like to focus on the chat. And there you guys are. Okay, good. All right, so I like that. I like the way this feels now. We can see the arc that I got. What I need to do is also put this on the rotation. Boom, you can see the rotation is really late. That's cool. All right, now let's go to rotation. It was on the Z, right? I don't want to see this one here. I want to see just this because it helps. I want to press A, then period on the notepad. There it is. I want to press A again. And I want to click, and then I want to select Bezier. Bezier, whatever they call it. And now, again, we want to do that should we? So I want to do this one. I think right, like this, something like this, and let's see. No, opposite. Okay. Grab this guy. Grab him out. Chop this guy down. Let's go back. Oh, yes. Like he comes in, yo. Okay, but he's coming in too tight now. It's a little bit too fast. Let's kind of soften that out. So it's like, yo. Boom. Let's let that spinner keep spinning just a little longer. Let's take this guy and pull him back a little bit. So he just spins and boom, right there in the last one. Boom. I love it. Okay, make sure we save. So now what I think I want to do is on the autofocus, I mean on the focus, like have the focus maybe down here on these markers and then rack focus up to the top when this guy gets in his final position. So let's see if can't I set up like focus in the preview or something? I thought there was an option I remember seeing like focus in the preview mode. Hang on. Oh, depth of field. Boom. Check it out. Oh, snaps. This is like the first time I've ever used this option. Seriously, guys. Okay, so I want my depth of field. Get my camera. I probably should just animate it. No, I don't need a null. We'll just animate it right here. All right, so let's go to the final position first. And how come we lost everything? Okay, we got to click back on it. Okay, let's go to here. And that's the timing. And then I want to click on the camera. And then I want to click on I like where the focal length is here. Focal distance. I'm going to put a keyframe there. Control I, drop a keyframe there. Then we're going to back up to the beginning, which is 0. And we're going to change our focal point to holding down shift to these back markers like this. Just something deeper. Maybe like, where is it sitting? It's down there. Something like that for now. Let's just test this. And then let's go ahead and press I on that, keyframe it. Then we come here and it should slowly come in here and then boom. Okay. Now we might need to animate this curve also on this. So select everything, press notepad 0. There it is. We want a Bezier on this, Bezier. And I'm watching this screen over here to see where it's, ooh, it's off. Hang on, it's off, it's off. That's not the final position, yo. This should be, yeah, it's not fitting where it should have been. I think it's too much depth of field. I might have to crank some of this depth of field off. Damn, I'm at a 5.1. All right, let's go ×2. Oh, you know what? I don't think we're seeing the actual results correlating to this up here because this looks like I have way more depth of field than I actually had in the original shot. Yeah. Let me go back here. I went divide that by 2. Yeah, I like this depth of field that I have here. And actually it is in focus here. Okay, so this depth of field that you see here is not super accurate. It's just kind of like, I guess, a ballpark. Use depth of field in the viewport using the values from the active camera. Huh. Interesting. But that looks like I got way more than I do, but I think it's fine. So let's go back here, and I just need to make sure that I'm got this thing in focus. Back it up just a little bit. I want it to be right in the middle, right there. I'm just looking at this little line right here. I know that that focal plane is there. Let's go ahead and reseal this. Press I. Okay. And I want that to happen just a little bit quicker because I want it to be in focus by the time he gets there. Right now, I want it to be in focus by like right around here. So let's go GX to slide this here, maybe something like that. All right, 1 second here. I got to drink some water. All right, looks like the camera has frozen. All right, I'm gonna kill the camera for now, guys. All right, sweet. Dude, we are getting some bad stream drop frames today. What's going on? We got a lot of. Normally we got a good stream going, but today, and I didn't change any of my settings, so why is it doing that? Interesting. Let me probably kill some of the stuff in the background here. Now, that shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, I don't know what's up with OBS today. Alrighty. Oh, there it goes. It kind of popped back in. I don't know what's up with the stream today. Okay. Yeah, we had a lot of drop frames. Let's finish this shot out. I think I like everything right now the way it is. And now I'm just watching the animation on this depth of field, and it's coming in way too hot. So let's do the same kind of thing here. The same kind of shape. And matter of fact, I think I wanted to leave out a little bit. It's okay to have it a little bit slower, and then kind of do that here. I'm kind of watching it right here. The little focal thing. Just watching how it's moving, like boom. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Let's give it a little bit more time here. Go GX, slide these keyframes a little bit more shots over. All right, I think I'm gonna call it on that shot. Let me go ahead and save it. And let's go back to render view just to see what we're looking like. That's our final frame there. And then our first frame is there. And you know what? I think I could give a little bit back on the depth of field. Let's go divide that by half. Yeah, I like that. I want to be a little bit out of fit. And once it gets back in here, what's it look like on the last frame? Let's go 4. Split the difference. Okay. Sold. I'm gonna save that. All right. So next, What do we got? What do we got? Ramos, hey, has Otoy ever reached out to you about working with them? Bro, has Otoy reached? Yes, I've actually. That's the reason why this new computer was basically because of Otoy. Long story short, I applied for one of their grants. They have grants that they have available for people if you qualify, and they saw what I was doing with my YouTube channel. And I actually had a couple of members who work for Otoy that were in my community, and they saw that I was building a community, and they saw all the stuff that I was trying to put out, and they're like, "Why don't you try to apply for the Otoy grant?" And I actually qualified for it, and it was perfect timing because my laptop had died, and I was like out of the game, literally, like with no money to really get back into the game, really. And I qualified, so that enabled me to build this new computer. And yeah, dude, I've been working with some people from Otoy and trying to do some rendering network stuff. Like I'm testing out the render network and things like that. So yes, they've reached out to me. Um, Fantastic. They're absolutely fantastic on the back end. I'm a fanboy now. I'm sold. I'm sold. I mean, I'm not gonna hate. I love Cycles. I love Eevee. They all have their projects. They all have their tools. Just like Octane, it has its project. It has its tools. But for me, I love the way Octane looks. Coming from Cinema 4D, like I could never. When I was using Cinema 4D, I didn't have a GPU, so I can never use Octane. And then once I switched over to Blender, and I found that they had a free version there, and I was like 2013, 2014. It was like super buggy, like it was inconsistent, and there was nothing about it. You know, a few videos. Lineal was making some videos for it, and yeah, I got into it. That's so amazing, dude. You deserve your laptop was rough. Yeah, but you know what? Like that's all I knew was the laptop, so it wasn't that rough because that's all I knew. Like not until I got this. What am I using? A 1080. I didn't. I had no idea. Like wow. I was like, damn. I thought I was rocking on my 1050 Ti. I knew it was slow, but it felt okay. That's really cool. What happened? I'm seeing that you're the only one pushing Octane for Blender, along with one others. Yeah, there's a couple of us. There's a small clan of us, literally a small clan of us who are on the. We joke. We say we're on the dark side of the cube. We're on the back side of the cube that nobody sees. But you know, Octane render it's a beast. I tell people like, I mean, you got Cycles. It's kind of like flying a Cessna, like a very easy, simple controls, and then you jump into Octane. It's like flying a 747 jumbo jet. You got buttons and switches everywhere. So, yeah. All right, boom. This shot's done. Next shot. Let me turn this depth of field off over here. It's kind of too much for me. Now this shot, what did I have here in my notes? I storyboarded this shot. This shot was going to be. What was this shot? This shot was just going to be the flyover. Oh, I already had the flyover shot. This was the flyover shot. And then I had this rotating shot here. Then we had oh, I know what that shot was. Okay. So this next shot here was supposed to be the side marker shot. And I don't know why the camera's so zoomed in on here. So oh, I know why it zoomed in now because I expanded the node system. So this used to be on the outer edge. Okay, so this shot here. Let me make sure we're on the right camera, right? And this is the camera that's playing. Good. Hang on. No, it's not. That's that marker shot. That's gonna be the last shot. This shot here is going to be this side shot here. So I'm gonna just like this, it's gonna be sliding along the side of these markers here. And I wanted to just get like a little bit of the mid shot and not too much of the bottom. Do they have it running stable for 4.2 LST long-term support? No, right now the add-on is only for 4.1 and it's in beta. So the add-on still got some work to do. I'm at the moment, I'm using the standalone version, which was released, I think, man, this past summer. Like, all the new version, the latest releases are for the paid members. Like, if you're a paid member, you got access to those latest versions. The premium, the prime is the free version, and we get our updates a little bit later, actually a lot later sometimes, but it doesn't bother me too much. Because even with Blender, like every time Blender dropped a new one, I never updated because like it was never enough for me to update. So like I don't like, I switched to 4 point whenever it went to 4, I switched, and then I have 4.2. I still don't have 4.2. I'm still using 4.1. I use 4.1 standard, and then I use the Blender Octane add-on with this one here just to play and see how the add-ons coming along. Right now it's still a little buggy. Like there's certain features that are not available yet because it's in beta. I'm gonna wait. But for all the things I mean, I'm not a pro or like doing this for a living, so I'm just a hobbyist. So a lot of those things, tiny details, I don't really jump for joy for them. All right, this track here, this right here, I think I need to back out my camera angle just a little bit here. Yeah, once they release this 4.2 version, I'm done updating until the next LSD. Too much up. Yeah, yeah, man. Like it's always, there's always gonna be something, and like it's the YouTube tutorial videos that you gotta like kill me. Oh, you gotta update this new feature. No, I don't. You're just making a new video. I know the game. Like for most of those little tiny deep, I never even touched half of those features, anyways. Okay, I'm lost in a loop here. Oh, we're gonna pull this camera out. 7.2. We're doing a 75 millimeter. Let's back that out to like a 50. I think I do want to see the bottom of the markers a little bit. Let me see what this is looking like. Ooh, yeah, we need some light over here. Light grips, lighters. Where's the lighting, guys? We need some light over here. Where's my lighting folder? We need some lighting over here, dude. Let's take this light here. Drag that bad boy over here. Rotate it. Let's kind of scale it up a little bit. We need more heat on it. 25. Let's go 75 watts. Now, see, I'm working at real world scale. These markers are to real world scale, and now my lighting works a lot better. Like, I'm only using 75 watts, 75 watt bulb on this, right? Like, that's why it's important to work in real world, especially when you're using Octane. Like, you really need to work in real world scale because that's how the lights and everything was really designed to work in real world scale. So to get that real, just to get, these little 1% add up to looking like photorealistic is like working in real world scale. These are real world scale markers. So now my lighting value, 75 watt bulb on this would be like this, right? Like if I crank it up to a 200 watt bulb, it's hot, right? It's hot. Actually, I kind of like it at 200, huh? I'm actually going to go down to let's go to a 100 watts and see what that looks like. And let's go ahead and go from a round from a disc to a rectangle. It's going to be way hotter. See that disc, that rectangle light. It's probably going to be too harsh. 100. Let's go back down to 25. That was still way too hot. 10 watts. 5 watts. But this light is pretty big. Because what size is this light here? Yeah, this light is 0.16 millimeters by 0.25. It's a big, massive light, right? So that's why the values need to be so low, because it's a huge light. I think it's a little still too hot. So I'm gonna knock that down to maybe even, let's divide that by half. Divide by 2. I like that. I'm gonna bring my camera and GZ my camera up just a little bit. I don't want to see too much of the bottom down there. Okay, let's jump out. We want him to start here. Let me turn on my rule of thirds. You know what? Yeah, let me turn on my rule of thirds, because again, I need to keep my center focus for my reels. I need to keep that in mind. Camera view display, rule of thirds. All right, good. So again, I want to keep these center lines here, which I wish I can turn these up. There's no way of like changing the colors. I wish I could change the color. But here's my dotted lines right here, and I want to keep the main action happening here in the center. So when I make a reel, it's good. Let's kind of do a hero shot on it. I'm looking down on the markers. I think I want to try to look up on the markers. Let's kind of like tilt the camera up, and then let's go GZ down. And I think what I'm going to do is get in a little closer. Oh, there we go. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Look at that. We're seeing a little bit of the texture here on that. Again, look, I have my max previews at 250. Like, I always had a low, because this is coming off of my laptop. I always had low settings. Like, I could crank this thing up to 500. Like, I still don't utilize the power of this GPU at all, because I'm so embedded of working at lower scale with the laptop that it's just engraved in me, like, oh, don't go to 500 in the viewport samples. Dude, you can do that. It's okay. And I actually probably could be running the denoiser. It might help out a little bit, but denoiser. Now, see what I just did there, guys? Whenever you're doing that, a lot of people think you can just come in here, turn on denoiser, and it's gonna work. It did not work. Like, okay, right? Like, it was like here, and it's like, boom, denoiser. It's not working. Because once you enable it in here, you still need to enable it in your render AOVs. You jump over here to the side, and you can see here, I checked, it says preview render. Right now, I'm still looking at beauty. I need to select denoise. And now, if you come back to here, now it's denoised, right? Okay, so keep that in mind anytime you do that. And vice versa. When you turn off the denoiser, make sure you change it back, because it will say waiting for render up here. I updated to a powerful GPU myself this year after all these years, and it really does change the game. Oh man, it's massively. Yeah. Especially just working. Well, you know what? Not working in the preview didn't really bother me that too much. It just really bothered me on renders, like cranking out renders. I would just do all my rendering at night when I went to bed, because I didn't want to just wait and, you know, have no computer, no laptop all day long while I'm waiting on renders. So I'll just do it at night. But now, that's why I've been using the render farm a lot more. Otoy's render network, which has just been a game changer. Even with this big GPU here, I still do most of my rendering on the render network now until I burn up my credits. And I think even after I burn up my credits, I'm just going to put more on there and because it just allows me to keep using my computer without having it, you know, and it's so faster, so much faster. Okay, this shot here, I think I want a little bit more light. I'm kind of going for it in the room vibe with my desk lamp on, and then the windows to the left. That's why it's a little bit more brighter, because the windows over there, here's the desk lamp. type vibe going in the lighting. Where was the power at? Power was set at. Power was at 2.5. Really? Let's go 4.5. Okay, I like that. Now let's get our focal point set. The focal point is a little bit too deep. We'll pull that focal back. Okay, that's looking tight. I like that. I really want to change the material. I want to make it a little bit more glossy, but I'm not going to change it because it's going to... I'm over that. I spent last night hours just tweaking on the textures, which I'm actually starting to enjoy a lot more these days. Okay, that looks good. Now, animating this camera, we want it to slide. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to press Control S, cursor to selected. I'm going ahead, drop in a null. I could just animate the camera, but I just like getting in the habit of using nulls because it's easier to set this thing up here. I'm going to go to the top view. I'm going to rotate this here, and I'm going to line it up like that. I'm going to go to the side view, and I'm going to go and rotate it like that. And again, on the top view, okay there. And then I'm going to select the camera, grab mom, and then parent it to it. That's how I remember. Select the child, grab your mom or your dad, and then Control P. Okay, and then we grab it, and then now we should be boop, boop, boop. Good. So what I want to do here, we're just going to slide across. Again, go here. I go with 1 frame past this so I can keep the animation flowing between cuts. And I think I'm going to go ahead and hit I. Location rotation. And then slide on over out. I'm just going to grab this guy and we're going to go GY. Right. Over here. I location rotation. Come back. Way too fast. No biggie. No biggie. Guy down here, press A, notepad 0 brings that all here. I don't want to see all these keyframes. We just did a location on the Y. Hide all those. There we go, location on the Y. And it's way too fast. So let's drag this guy over more. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. And I think I might go even a little bit slower. I'm going to go GX. Cool. I like that. Now what I do want to do is come up just a little bit. Let me come in here and go GZ. Okay. Now we don't really need any type of bars or sliding on this here because it's just a straight slide and it's not stopping. It's gonna be a straight slide shot. Okay, boom, save that. Like that. All right. Seems like the stream kind of settled down a little bit. Frame rate is back. I don't know what was going on. I think I had too many windows open in the background. Coming up on our mark, my break time. Okay, So I just got one shot left, and it's like, which I should have started off with the hardest shot first, but I didn't in this case. I just wanted to slowly warm my way into this whole thing. Okay. Break time. Some water. That's one thing I do, guys. I read this book, fantastic book, Diary of a CEO, and it's just like a bunch of life hacks and business and things like that. One thing he always does is he works in 30-minute increments or 40-minute increments, and then take a 10-minute break. Like, it's just, I can grind like that all day. Like, I'm so happy. Like, that's how I can sit here and I'll grind out literally all day. I'll be here till 4:30 till it's time to go pick my daughter up, and just 30 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 10 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 10 minutes, and I'll just keep going over and over. I've been doing that for the whole almost a year now, so it's like embedded in my body now. So I always kind of, and on Windows we have this little focus thing here, so there it is. I set my timer 30 minutes and then boom, and then I turn it off. It's just so dope. All right, but I want to finish this before I end the stream here, because we're already at my hour, 1 hour in Blender. But I got some other stuff I got to do. I want to finish this last shot. This last shot is going to be the money shot. Let's see. How come we're not seeing it in our viewport here? What happened? Oh, there we go. There it is. Now this marker is going to pop in, and then it's just gonna kind of like sit there and hover. This is my goal. And quick note: the only downside about having these new GPUs, like, guys, if for anybody who's rocking a laptop like I did for years and years, when you get to this bigger laptop, these GPUs, the damn thing heats up the room. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I sweat at my desk sometimes because the heat coming off of my computer is crazy, dude. It's it's got all these fans on it to keep it cool, but it's pumping out hot air. It's like, it's crazy. So literally, I literally turn a fan on next to me to keep me cool, because man, this thing, crazy, crazy. And it's true, because I remember my little laptop, it used to get hot. It used to get crazy hot. So now it all makes sense. The GPUs are be working. All right, let's do our pop-in animation. And this is gonna, okay, so I want to get to the last frame. I like the last position. I don't like the lighting in this shot. That's one thing I don't like. Now, what light is it? I think it's this light here. Yeah, straight up. It ain't no lie. I had that problem the other night. I was rendering animation and couldn't stand being in the room. Yeah, like, it's crazy, man. And now it makes sense. Like, some of those big server rooms they have, like, they're cold as hell. They got the AC cranked up, and that's just to keep all that stuff cool. Yeah, I'm still considering adding an extra fan on here, just to I mean, my levels, my temperatures are cool, but I don't know. We'll see. Another fan means more heat for me. All right, I don't like this light. I think it's a little bit too flat. So it wasn't that light. I think it was this little guy here. Yeah, it's this little guy here. All right, let's take this guy here. What are your thoughts on the motion graphic tools in Blender compared to C4D? Man, we can't even compare them, dude. With MoGraph and C4D, when I left C4D, that was the only thing I was crying over, was MoGraph. Like, and actually now these days, and they're rigid bodies and soft bodies, and I mean, they're crazy, dude. They're crazy dope. So, but you pay for that, right? And if I was a professional and motion graphic was 85, more than 50% of my workflow, I would be using C4D. As a hobbyist, yeah, I cried a little bit and then I got over it. I dried up my face and I got over it. And now with geo nodes coming in here, like it's catching up slowly. But hey, only time will tell. I mean, 'cause even just right now, like when I first got into Blender, this little motion graphic thing in the background here, that was a monster to try to set up. And like I literally set that up in less than 5 minutes with geo nodes. Here's the geo setup, like, right? So the MoGraph stuff is cool, but imagine being able to do MoGraph stuff like we could, but like in the node setup, you have way more customability. You can get way more intenser. So I feel in the future, yeah, Blender will probably kick out some MoGraph like presets, or there are already plugins now that you can download. I found one guy who literally does. That's what he makes C4D Blender GeoNode presets. Like he tries to mimic things you can do in C4D. So once you learn this, like your game, like come on, Houdini guys come over to Blender and they just clown on this stuff because they understand the whole node system. Like it's just another tool you need to learn. Like MoGraph presets were cool, but now I'm learning how to make my own MoGraph presets. That's powerful because then you can just the world is yours, right? You can do whatever the hell you need to do and not be limited by the MoGraph presets. Right? But I'm just waiting for the soft bodies and rigid bodies to catch up to C4D. That would be sick because right now the rigid bodies suck. It's the old rigid body system, so they said they're gonna be working on that in the future. I can't imagine what a warehouse is going to be like in Texas that Eon is building all this GPU. Yeah, come on, man. Come on, like they're gonna have that damn place. The whole building's gonna be water cooled. The whole building's gonna be a giant fan, literally. Seriously, ain't no joke. All right, this is gonna be the final position. Oh, I was talking about the lighting, huh? I still don't like that lighting, dude. That lighting is just horrible. What can we do? 200. Let's take the 0 first. And then I like to just creep it back in. Let's say 25. Okay, it's not too bad. What about this big guy? What's he doing over here? This big light here is sitting at 25%. What if we take him up to 175? Okay, I like that little highlight there on the bottom. Let's play with the position on this guy for a minute here. Let's get a little bit of rotation going. Let's move it around. Maybe let's come back here like I had it before. This guy here. What if we come up a little bit and then rotate down a little bit? Okay, that's not too bad. I like that little highlight there. Okay, I'm gonna leave that as set for now. I really want to just get this animated. I can tweak on lights any other time. So this part right here is gonna be the final position. Let's just drop a keyframe right here. We're on that location, rotation, and scale in this case. And I don't want to see all that stuff for right now. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna go back to my dope sheet for a moment right here. Okay, and then I'm gonna put another keyframe right about here for now. Location, rotation, and then I'm gonna jump all the way back here to 0, and then we're gonna go ahead and scale this down to 0, and then I'm gonna put location, rotation, scale. Okay, so right now technically if we come, he just kind of slowly pops in like that, right? Weak. Okay, no problem. So I want that to pop in quick, like whoop. So I'm gonna wait like boom, and then kind of pop it right there. So let's grab this last keyframe here and let's just kind of drag it over here, right? Boom, and that's still not happening the way I want it. Okay, so let's take all these keyframes here and just kind of shift them over. So we kind of like, okay, now let's make these way tighter. Let's get in here. Let's get in. We're talking small frames now. And then this whole section here is probably taking way too long to happen. Okay, there we go. Whoop. Now we're talking. I'm with you there. Blender will catch up eventually. I think it comes down to the size of the develop team that have build the tools they want, the other softwares. From my research, all the things that Houdini and C4 can do already exist in Blender. It's just a lower version of geometry. Yeah, that's true. And we got to remember, I mean, that's the downside of Blender Octane being free. That development happens way more slower. We're talking about, you know, how much people were paying for Octane and how much, I mean, not Octane, how much people were paying for Houdini. You're talking about what, $200 a year for a minimum subscription. And C4D was like 60, 80 bucks a month. I don't know what that is. But that money helps the develop. You can get, you know, programmers, you get those coders, you get all those guys, and then that's why they got all those tools. So it takes time. Can somebody complete today in 3D if you were using like similar to Pixar computer used in Toy Story 2? Can somebody compete today in 3D if we're using like a similar to Pixar computer used in Toy Story 2? I don't really understand what your question is, but like I will say you don't have to have a monster machine at all to do really cool stuff now, because the technologies is so much more advanced, right? Like um geez, what was the name? I was just watching this Instagrammer girl. She's crushing it right now on I was watching her podcast yesterday. She was actually the inspiration for this whole marker thing that I'm doing right now, right? And she's using like this low end laptop, dude. Like, but it's just the way she's spending time on the details on the textures and things is really what's making her stuff look high end. And it's here it is. This girl right here, guys. This girl right here, follow her on Instagram. She's crushing it. Like her stuff is dope. And like I didn't even know it was a girl. First of all, I've been following the account for almost 6 months, and she never shows her face, and I didn't even know it was a girl. I thought it was a guy. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, I've been following her, and I didn't guess or whatever. And she's just using the lower end laptop, but her stuff is sick, and she's just getting it done, right? And it's just like here it is, putting in the work on materials. All these little 1% things add up to just crushing. Like, check this out. Look, first of all, look at this here. And you're like, is it a photo? No, it's a straight up render. Thing's not gonna let me sign it because it's freaking stupid. This is a straight up render. And she even talks about like a lot of my stuff is low poly. Like she shows it in her workflow. Like it's truly inspiring. And like it inspired me to make this whole like render that I'm doing now. Like I can't. I want to see if they'll let me show more of it. Come on, dude. Good junk Instagram. Like I don't know why, but every time like I always go through this junk sign in every freaking time. That's why I don't like doing Instagram on my computer, because like it doesn't remember me every single time. It's super annoying. But anyways, check her channel out, guys. It's dope. Let me slow down so you guys can see it right here. Boom. Hookah. Right there. Check her out. We could probably search her on Google, right? She crushes. And she's got a low end laptop. She probably did, but now she doesn't. But yeah, she crushed. Good example of just getting it done with the tools you got. Thanks for the comment, bro. Yeah, no problem. Good idea are always timeless. Good ideas are timeless. Is it only using a simple PC? Man, you can get dude, like I was doing it on my 1050 Ti. Dude, don't let anything hold you back from achieving your dreams. That's just the number one thing. Like, especially more than ever, technology is sick right now. Like the stuff that we can do is sick. There's this, I mean, yeah, you don't have to have a high-end laptop to do this stuff, man. I'm serious, or even a high-end computer at all. Okay, it's popping in. Now what I learned from my other videos, we need to pop, and it needs to go a little bit past and then back. I forgot what they call this. Overshoot. Boonk. So okay, it's here, and then I wanted to overshoot. Maybe what was it? 2 frames. Let's go ahead and go scale. And then I want to take this and then duplicate this. Maybe even 1 frame back. So it's kind of like boom. Okay, see that? Boom. I started off with 3D back in the 1990s, and it was different and more. Oh man, come on! I mean, even just like the what is it? The Toy Story 1. Like you referenced the Toy Story 2. Go back to Toy Story 1, dude, and just look at the quality. Like, there's a really cool tutorial thing that I've been following too. I posted it in my community because like I have a lot of beginners in my community. And I've actually been following some of these tutorials just to help me with my modeling, because I want to get better at modeling. I literally posted the Blender story. This guy is crushing it right now. Like, instead of the donut tutorial, which I've never did, because I'm just not, it just never appealed to me, the donut tutorial. Like, but this guy right here is doing a similar style, but he's using, you're going to model the whole room from the Toy Story. And he starts off, and it's straight up like check it out. He's telling the story of how they made Toy Story 1 and just showing you the reference of quality 3D as things got better. And it's a lesson in Blender from begin. Like, it's crazy. Take a look at it and like, look, now he's teaching you the beginnings of how to use Blender, and then like by the time you're done with the whole video series, you're going to have like models and assets built. Like, I've already built the garbage can, like, and then he'll tell some more story about the whole Toy Story journey. And then you're going to build the trash can. Look, there's my trash can. I already put the asset there for my community. They can download if they want. Same thing. You go on to the next video and you're going to build this. And again, storyline. It's dope, dude. It's super dope. Like, I was so impressed with this, and I've been following along. I still need to finish up. I just finished this one here. I think I need to, I'm on number 6 right now or something. No, I finished 6. I need to do number 7. Yeah, so matter of fact, I'm going to drop that. I'm going to give this guy some love. I'm going to drop his link in here.
In the previous episode, when we modeled Molly's nightstand, we skipped over the details of modeling the drawer.
Even if you know modeling, I just follow along just because it was truly entertaining. It was so entertaining. Because he's just dropping all these bombs on you about how Pixar was literally just like, in the beginning, like low budget 3D. To now when you go to the latest, you know, Pixar movies, which are just completely opposite, man. All right, guys, I gotta stay focused. But I love the questions. Keep the questions coming. Boom. What happens if we move this back another frame? Oh, that even feels better. Boom. Okay. Once it does that, boom. I do want it to kind of like rotate. I do want this to kind of like rotate a little bit. So we're going to start. Ooh, let's say rotation here. And then I'm going to put a rotation keyframe kind of like right around here. Like rotation on the Z, kind of like showing itself off a little bit. location, rotation. So we got something like, whoop. Okay, okay. Ooh. Yep. And maybe a little bit of rotation on the Y. You know what? Let's do a little bit of rotation on, actually, location on the Z, like kind of slowly bobbling up and down. So here, it gets into this position. And then I want to go keyframe. Let's do a keyframe here again. And let's go GZ a little bit. I on the location. And then it should come back. Oh, goes down and then goes up. Okay, let's go play with the curves on this now. Graphic editor. Okay, now we got to break it down slowly because I get overwhelmed with all this stuff on here. So I did make, okay, we did do rotation. We did a scale. So let's do the scale first. Let's play with these guys here. I'm going to select all, press A. And it looks like we only got this one here. Why? Okay. Let's grab these guys. Let's grab this guy and this guy. There's nothing on the Z? Oh, there is one on the Z. Okay. I'm going to grab all these. Press A. Notepad. And press A again. I want to, what do we have to do? A Bezier. Okay, let's see what that looks like right now. Oh man, that feels good. I love it. Boom. We'll fix rotation later. Let's just worry about this right here. Boom. Okay, now let's dive in. See what we got here on our curves. We've got this coming in here, and it's like, boom. And maybe a little bit. Let's see what happens if we just pull this out. Actually, hang on. This is where stuff gets weird. Let's start killing this so I can only play with one value at a time. I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to go GX and just kind of pull that out like that and see what that does. Huh. Let's grab it and let's go down. Make it more like linear, like this. Oh, I don't notice any difference. Okay, let's undo that, undo that, undo that, undo that. Let's take this bottom one and go GX. Pull him out like that. First of all, what is this doing? What is this keyframe doing? Let's just move this keyframe. I don't see nothing happening. That's why I don't see a difference. Okay, undo that, undo that, undo that. Let's grab this keyframe. What's this one doing? I'm not seeing anything moving. Same here. Not seeing anything moving. Not seeing anything moving. Okay. Don't worry. Let's go to Y. Grab on Y. Z. Okay. I see Z moving. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. Okay. Let's just go. Okay. I'm going to leave them. They look fine. Move on. These aren't the droids you're looking for. Let's move on. Control A. Location. There's no location keyframes. No. Rotation. Yes, I know we added some rotation in there, right? Hmm. There we go. Now I can see something happening here. Oh, matter of fact, while we're at that, let's Bezier all these guys. They're all selected. Bezier. It's got to be a shortcut for that. What is a shortcut? T. All right. T. There it is. Now let's see what that looks like with everything. That actually doesn't look that bad. Just with everything straight Bezier straight up. Rotation. I think I might want to play with the rotation a little bit. And that's these guys right here. All right. And let's actually just go with the X because I did rotate. Oh, I did rotation on the Z. There we go. Let's play with this guy here to see if we did. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, they're connected. I need to take this and I say right click. I want it to be handle type 3. And I want to take this one. There we go. Nice. Oh, yeah, I don't like that. Watch rotation. Boop. It snaps. Okay, I don't like that. Undo. Undo. Let's see what that looks like opposite. Same thing here. Handle types 3. GZ that up. Oh, I don't like that either. Nope. Undo. Okay, so what I'm thinking I'm liking is this smooth. I like this smooth thing here, how it starts smooth. Let's take this one and go smooth. Ah, I kind of like that. Let's go a little bit more on the top here. Matter of fact, I just want to kind of level that off. I'm looking, I want to level that off right here. Okay, this is coming in a little bit too harsh here. Let's kind of flatten that out a little bit. I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Let's take this guy here. He should be free already, right? Kind of smooth him out, straighten him out a little bit. I don't like the way it hits here either. Stretch this guy. Ah, that feels nice. That feels nice. Cool. I like that. Save it. Now let's turn on, what is it? That was on the X. I did add a little bit, I think, Y rotation, right? Looks like, no, we didn't. Y is pretty much straight. We didn't add any Y. Okay. Z. We fixed the Z. X. Straight. Okay, that's pretty much it. That looks like all of them, right? I think what I would like is a little bit of rotation on. Let me turn this back on here. Let me just grab one of these points for a second here. I'm not doing nothing. Grab one of these points here. Not doing nothing. Oh. No, I don't like that. I think that's it. I'm just nitpicking at it. Light is just really killing me. All right. So now what I want to do is export these shots out, not to the render network just yet. I want to see what they're going to look like in full real time. So, you know what I could do is literally render them all in one shot. What I mean by that is like, no, I could switch the cameras. Now it's going to affect the animation. I should have did that later because I can actually do automatic camera switches. But it's just going to be a bit easier to do shot by shot. Okay, so what we'll do here is just do a quick render preview. I'm going to scroll down here, color management, turn my color management back to standard for a moment. And then I'm going to shoot up to here, and then we're going to make a... I'm still going to do my EXRs. All right, EXRs, half float, DWA lossless. And then I'm going to save this guy in a place that won't get lost. Keep everything in the same folder. Markers, renders. All right, BTS1, BTS underscore V1. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is viewport render, viewport render animation. Okay. And let's see really quickly. Just so I can see it in real time. Cool, I can dig it. And then what I'm going to do is we got that one. I'm going to rinse repeat that. So let's go to our next camera. I'm really interested in this one. I really can't wait to see that one rendered. And this one here, I'm going to call this one V2. This is nice to see, Patrick. I am honestly behind on my GeoNode skills. I need to get to some Ducky 3D tutorials and test some things. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's where I get a lot of, and that's one thing I respect about Ducky. Like, I like his GeoNodes don't get super complicated. There's some Geo videos I watch where I'm just like, dude, I can't follow this thing. This is blowing my mind. But he does simple concepts and they're very easy. And then I immediately, whenever I do a tutorial from him, I immediately go out and try it again on my own. You know, I'm not really too much into his style of 3D. It's not my thing. But what yeah, his lessons are, the stuff that I learned from his geo setups are absolutely game changer for me. V2. Oh, I probably shouldn't have put those in the same folder. Oh, actually, that's pretty cool. It actually merged them. I never did that before. Actually, this is really cool. So there's the first shot. This is actually a really good way for me to see the preview of how they're going to connect together. Okay. That's actually that's going to be the last shot. I'll rearrange the order. Okay, that's cool. I never know. I never know that I can do that. So by me just labeling it V1, V2, V3 and putting them in the same folder, it's animating them all together. I'm lost. Hang on, guys. I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm grinding too much. I'm getting hungry. But I want to finish this before I leave. Okay, let's go V3. Shot 3. Change the camera. There's camera 3. I'm going to go ahead and animation, render animation. Man, I can't wait to see this rendered. I'm definitely going to put this on the render network, on the render cloud, because I don't want to wait. Okay, and then let's go again one more time, V4. V4. And then switch camera. And then render animation. It doesn't show any motion blur on these shots though, so gotta keep that in mind. The principle stands for sure. Yep, and that's the whole thing. What mainly any tutorial you should. I mean, like, I have a love-hate relationship with step-by-step tutorials, because then if something goes wrong in your steps, you're screwed. You're like, oh, I can't do it. But it's literally just grabbing the concept from the tutorial. You know, too many people get hung up on step-by-step tutorials. And that's why I slowly shifted away from step-by-step tutorials and more of general workflow videos, right? Like, because you don't really learn nothing going step by step by step by step by step by step by step. You do, but then you're like on training wheels. The minute something's not on the step, you're screwed. You're like, oh my god, what do I do now? All right, okay, let's fire this up now. Let's play all of them. And this is just a preview that I want to do before I send it to the network. And what I'm going to do from here, even still, I'm going to probably render one frame from each, just in various positions, just to see like where the depth of field is happening. Like, man, I'm super stoked about this. This is, and like, for those of you who follow along, like, the animation we did is not like super crazy. Like, we kept simple stuff. And like, you know, I come from a cinematography background, so like, I understand like camera movement. Like, this is just a slide shot, but it's slow because we got so much motion going on, right, with the wave. Static shot with the pop-in thing here. We still got the animated background. This is another slide shot. Again, we got all this motion going on, so we just keep the camera very simple slide. And then here, oh, that's my favorite shot right there. It's gonna be the hero shot. So that's cool. With the little mishap, people will point it out. With one little mishap, yeah, and they'll blow it up. Like, oh my god, yeah. Although some of the comments help in learning new things. Yeah. I learned a grip from tutorial, step-by-step tutorials. I'm not gonna lie. I learned a grip, you know, and as you start getting more better, you're gonna start to not need every single step. Like, now when I do a lot, like, I'm working on some CG boost tutorials. Like, he's got this one about this hard ops building these robots, and a lot of tips I already know exactly where he's going, so I'm like steps ahead of him because I'm waiting. Like, okay, I already know I know what's going next. Okay, you know. But then there's some steps where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, so I still learn, but you'll start to just see the general flow and the workflow, how things start to happen. Okay, so now, for example, if I'm going to export this and send this to the render network, this is what I would do. I don't have to bake anything, right? And again, I'm not deforming any meshes. Actually, I am deforming a mesh. No, I'm not using any like mesh deformers, because with Octane, if you're using any type of like mesh deformers, you, like, if I had the marker and I had like a noise on it and I'm deforming this actual mesh, you're going to need to make sure you turn on this material right here, object type. I'm going to need to, you'll have to turn this to reshapeable proxy, otherwise it won't work. Okay, so me using geonodes, I don't think I need to do this, but I might be wrong. So before when I get to the render network, I only render 10 frames just to check anything is working properly. And matter of fact, because right now you see it moving in the viewport, but it won't. Once you start rendering, you won't see it. Matter of fact, check it out. I'm going to do this just to test. We'll test on this shot right here. I'm going to go and I'm going to set up. I like to do this when I don't want to wait. I'll go ahead and set this to like 200 frames, 200 samples. And then I come over here to this, whatever this is, this percentage, and I go like 50%. And then let me go back to my color space. Color space back to raw. We're turned on the render now. Okay, let me go ahead and save. And then I come over here and I'll let it just rip through a bunch of quick renders. Like, I don't care about noise. I just want to see if it's working. Like, literally, it's taking like 7 seconds a frame. I'll let it rip through like 10, 15 frames, or sometimes I might just like do something, go and, you know, do something I was working on before, or go to the bathroom, or come back, go outside, take a walk. Sometimes, literally, I'll go out on the veranda for like 5 minutes just to get my eyes back to nature and off this stupid computer screen. And then I'll come back and look at it just to see and make sure the animation is moving when in doubt before I send it to the network. The network, you know, you get paid credit there. But even on the network, there's still options just to render 10 frames, which I think is really nice. So you don't have to worry about wasting money. And then doing the EXRs, I use this EXR player, which is, this works so good, dude. Like, where's that? Where's my EXR player? And this is where it starts to get hot, and it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna take my clothes off. It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. That used to be my jam back in the club days. Oh, where's that? Markers. Render. I'm using this DJV EXR player, and this thing is it raw. See, there it is. Look, there it is. Okay, so it's working. Look, we can see the movement. So I know that it's working. See it? And now we're seeing EXRs, right? Again, if you're serious about render, always export EXRs and watch Gleb Alexandrev's DaVinci Resolve to Blender. Man, that thing is so freaking dope. That video, he's so dope. Like, I already knew the EXR workflow, but that video just really blew my mind when it came to the EXR workflow and color space and all that AGX and how to get the AGX look back in DaVinci Resolve. Okay, I can kill this render. I know it's working. We know it's working. Okay, good. Now, let's go ahead and set that back to where I was at. 100. Oh, this song playing right now is my jam. I gotta turn the headphones up a little bit, guys. Sorry. Jam. Okay. And then what I do is I don't want to render out two sets of EXRs. So I take Blender's outputter, set it to a video, set it to FPEG video. I do encoder, H.264, and encoding, medium or practically lossless, whatever. I just do this so it doesn't render a double set. This is going to be a video just previewing, literally. And I won't save that in the same folder. I'll save that outside. And I'll call this BTS vid underscore vid, not plus. Yeah, DJ is the go-to. Yes, it is. Okay, and then I'll enable Octane output, which is dope. Switch this to EXRs, 16-bit, sRGB. I can go ACES, or I just basically keep it on linear sRGB. It's fine for me. And then come in here, DWA lossless, because these files can be smaller than a PNG and hold way more data than a PNG. Okay. And I'm not doing any crazy passes. I do have the noise pass activated. So export single images. I want to say export multiple EXR, so it puts the denoising pass inside there. So I don't have two sets of EXRs. And I think that's all I want to do. I don't care about what is it, AGX linear. I don't care about all that right now, because once it's a EXR linear, I can change it to anything I want. I can change it to RE Alexa. I can change it to DaVinci Wide Gamut. Like AGX, huh? I can be, yeah. EXR is powerful, man. Yeah, thanks, bro. Definitely, thanks for joining. Yeah, it's literally 12:45 Wednesday here in Japan. So I know this. Yeah, you guys are on the dark side of that side. Nate, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. You'll probably catch this post on Instagram. It'll be on the Instagram once it's all finished and done. But much love, much love. Thanks. Give you some love there, bro. Catch you in the next one, bro. All right. So we're going to go ahead, and that's going to be my settings. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the most appropriate folder. I'm going to grab all these guys. We're going to delete them just so we don't have junk in there. Later. Peace. Go ahead and accept that. Oop, I forgot to change the name. So we're just going to take render. That's all I'm going to do. Okay. Now, what I need to do is find out how long it's going to take for one frame to render, just so I can adjust my credit to find out how long it's going to take. So render one frame. We're going to do, let's see what 800 looks like. This shot here. Make sure we save. Render one. Ooh, Blender crash. That's Blender. Did it crash my server too? No, server's still going. Okay, server's still going. All right, okay. All right. How long did that take? That took 1 minute and 23 seconds. But is it clean? Let's look what the denoiser looks like. The denoise version. Oh, the denoise version is way cleaner. All right, yeah, so we'll export that out. I probably... that's something that sucks about, I gotta figure out how to... It's exactly with the geonodes, like, look, at the map is exact on every single one. But hey, you can't even notice that in the animation. I noticed it, but it's all good. Okay, that's cool. And let's go to another shot. Oh yeah, that's my money shot. Hang on, let me see this shot here. Oh, I didn't even know I had this option here. I can do like polls. Hang on, let's test this out. I didn't even know I had this option, guys. Check this out. Do you guys see some poll like that kind of popped up? That's cool. Someone's already replied. That's dope, dude. I never even noticed that. Oh, this is already finished. What's this one look like? Oh yeah, sweet. 1 minute 20. So let me write this down. We're looking like 1 minute 30, and this one was 1 minute 20. So I'm gonna say anything that's pretty much like a minute 20 seconds. Okay, that looks good. What's our next shot here? Let's see what this guy looks like. Oh, hang on. You know what I think I need to make sure is also on? Motion blur for the camera. Motion blur needs to be enabled. Make sure that's enabled. Settings. Oh, motion blur. Boo boop. Definitely gotta have that on, dude. Hang on. And on the geo nodes, make sure that's enabled. Yes, motion blur is checked enable. Okay. Yeah, man. We got to have that motion blur. No doubt about that. Let me save that again. Okay. Motion blur will probably add a little bit to the render time too. But let's see. All right, the polls are cool. I didn't know I can do that. You can make polls. That's super dope. What is this? In poll. Okay. What else do we got here? Something else. Engage with your audience. Questions. Answer live questions. Start a Q&A. What do they mean by make start a Q&A? What do they mean by start a Q&A? Let's try it. Sorry guys, I'm trying out stuff that I never even noticed. Do you like do you like sushi? What do they mean by Q&A? What's that actually mean? Question. Back to the live chat. Top chat. What's top chat? Fan funds. Question. Answer viewers' questions live. Oh, I thought that's what I'm doing in the live stream, right? Oh, that's already finished. All right, that's taking 1 minute. What's our motion blur look like? You know what? I need to make a quick adjustment on the motion blur because I'm doing 24 frames per second. I think 30. I think it should be. There's an exact equation, and I totally forgot it, but I think I had a value that I actually like. Come back over here, motion blur. I think it was. What did I use? 38? Or was it 48? Let's go 48. I think it was 48. And then on my rendering, let's change it to slot 5. Render the same frame and see what the difference is. Let's go back to live chat. Huh, that's interesting. Looks like YouTube's made some updates on our side as far as user polls and stuff, because I guess you can do that on Twitch, things like that. Like, where's everybody from? How many people we got here? We got a 3 right now. Where are you guys from? Where are you guys from? Of course, you guys know I'm from Osaka, Japan. Not originally. I'm originally from California, Montana. Oh, dude, look at the difference with the motion blur here. I can already see the difference. Check it out. 5. Let's wait for it to finish. Brazil. Brazil? What time is it in Brazil? Alrighty, we're finished with that. That took 1 minute. And let's see the difference here. See the difference in motion blur? Like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so I think 38 looks good. Does someone know the difference between Octane render layers, view layers, and Octane render layers, global? Is it redundant or unnecessary to use in conjunction with Blender's own view layers? Yeah, I don't use Blender's view layers. If you use Octane render layers, don't use Blender view layers. And no, they're not redundant. They each have their, like, global and view layers have their own different thing. Especially once you start, it's literally like they say, like rendering out layers. It's kind of like how, I can't set it up in this scene here, but I have a VFX video that I break down, like, especially when you're rendering something and you want, like, just the shadows to be visible. Hang on 1 second. I think I maybe can show you really quickly, dude. I'm not sure. Hang on. So, let me go back to the viewport. This is not the best scene to show you to actually demonstrate this, but hang on. Maybe I can just jump over here to the side for a second. Like, for example, if I bring in this, hang on, how am I gonna do this? But basically, like, when you're using render layers, like, for example, this marker here, if you come over here to here and you scroll down, see render layer ID. These render layer IDs are what acts. So right now it's set to 1. And let me go to fire up this render here. Let me hide this. Here's my render light. I'm gonna switch it to 2, okay? And then if I go over to Octane's render layers, and then I go ahead and check on view layers, and if I click on it, right now it's set to ID 1. And you notice this disappeared, right? Like, we don't see it, but the hold up, like, it still has its space. If I go to 2, now everything disappears, and now we see just this, right? This is like kind of a crash course in the render layers, right? And then again, like, I can change, like, hide inactive layers. I've got way more show only side effects. Like, there's way more options than just this right here. I can invert this. So, like, boom, there's that, right? So, like, it's like I use them a lot when I'm doing VFX. Like, I only want this pin to be visible in the render, right? In the render. So I'll set a render layer ID, but all the color that's bouncing off of these markers is still affecting this, and that will still show up, but it just won't show, it won't show them in the render. Kind of like a quick crash course about it. But yeah, they're very powerful. They're very powerful. Turn that off. There it is. There's everything. Okay, it looks like we're good. So what I'm going to do is export this scene out to send it to the render network. Let me make sure I save. And then just in case, I like to save a copy. Just in case something happens or it gets corrupted. And I'll just, on this one, I'll go net. This is going to be for the network. And then I think the Orbix is only going to render whatever my active camera is. So I kind of need to have. Yeah, so we need to go to shot number. This will be my shot number 1. And then I'll come here and I'll go to export Octane ORBX file. It's like lens distortion effect. How make it in real time? Yeah, I do have it. I have it activated. That's why, because in my viewport, like if I come back in here to my viewport, and then if I go to my Octane tab, let me scroll this one down here, right here, post processing. See, now if I turn that off, hang on for a second. Post processing right here, I have it turned off. Now it's just the standard view. And if I turn that on, now you see I've got my glare right here, bloom. There's my bloom, right? And do that. And then I even have glare, which I kind of have it off, but check it out. Glare, right? 0. And then I even have some chromic aberration. I have a little bit of that going on, right? I could even have lens flares, which is kind of hard to see in this shot here. Let me get somewhere where there's a lens flare right there, right? And I can control the lens flare, right? But I don't need that in this shot. And light beams effects, this all can be, but you have to use certain special acrylic lights, and then I can have control of light beam effects. I can even add fog into the scene and do all that stuff there too, post right here in the viewport. Yep, it's dope, right? Uh-oh. What did I do? How come we're missing a light? That shouldn't be in the dark, right? Uh-oh, dude, hang on. What did I do? Yeah, chroma stuff looks dope. What happened to one of my lights, dude? What did I do? Uh-oh, guys. All right, no problem. Yeah, the manual, in the Octane manual, like it gets into reason why the difference between global and, like I said, Octane is like flying a 747 jumbo jet. There's so many switches and dials that do different things. Cycles is like flying a little Cessna plane, little propeller plane, and you jump into a jumbo jet with Octane. Dude, what did I do with my light, man? What's going on here? Something happened, guys. Let me revert back. Uh-oh. Why are all my lights off? Did I delete them or something? Oh, no, dude. Are you kidding me? Oh, whew. Okay. Okay. Oh, man, I was shaking in my boots. I was shaking in my boots. Let's go back to net render. I had it muted for some reason. That actually looks cooler. I think I like that better. Let's just change the color on that thing a little bit. It's not as warm. 5500. Go 700. No. Oh, okay. I know what I did because I turned this off. Let's just leave it, dude. I'm starting to mess with stuff and like screw stuff up. It's already way too late to start changing stuff. Yeah, let's just leave it. Leave it the way it is. Just leave it the way it is. Okay. All right. So now let's resave it one more time. Which is faster? Which is faster? 2 cycles with GPU denoising in 4.2 or Octane using now? I don't know, man. I don't really care what's faster because I like Octane. Like speed is not an issue with me, and especially honestly, all GPUs are quick. It just becomes on how your scene is set up, how your lights are set up, what your material like, what your geometry like. All of that affects the performance of your render in your GPU. Like I'm not using any denoiser right now, and this is just my viewport. Like that's my viewport right now. I don't, and I'm using, how many samples do I have? I'm using 250 samples in my viewport, and this is how it is for me. It's pretty snappy, right? I have no issues with it. It can be faster too if I lower the numbers. It can be faster if I turn on the denoiser, but it doesn't. And for me, it's not about render time because I'm gonna put this on the render network, and the render network's the fastest. It doesn't matter what GPU you got. If you can, like honestly, for spending thousands of dollars on a high-end GPU, I almost would rather spend a couple $100 on a render network and get your renders in like lightning speed. Imagine having 250 GPU, 1080 GPU or 1090 GPU, 4090s, and like you couldn't afford that. But like if you just save up $100 and use $100 for credit on a render network, and then like boom, you got the fastest GPU ever, right? Instead of, if I was to do it all over again, I will build a pretty decent machine. I wouldn't spend crazy amounts of money on the highest end GPU because I will save that and spend that more towards the render network, and then just be able to be like, boom, render out 250 frames in less than 10 minutes, which I'm about to show you right now. Matter of fact, let me save this, finish saving this here. So I'm gonna save this, export it out as a Octane OBX file. All right. And this one's going to be marker shot 1 underscore shot 1. And then boom. Now what it's going to do is going to render out all the animation data. It's going to take all my settings, and it's going to embed this into this Octane Orbix file. And then I'm going to upload this Orbix file to the render network and render like super crazy fast. Okay, it's finished. Now, unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit because I have to upload this to the website. Hang on for a second. So what I'll do from here, now I'm on the render network, I will upload a new scene, and I'm going to load up my file into here, which I just did. And we go to Orbix file shot 1. Hang on, let me get to the label so I can see I type. Here it is, Orbix Shot Net Shot 1. I'm gonna upload that. And that's gonna be a little bit slow because I'm live streaming right now. And this is where you just have, I kind of have to wait. So, and already it's affecting my stream.